he's excited, he's yelling, let's go. So I would say that it was built very, very fast.
This kind of was kind of a surprise to some of us here, wanting to win there. I don't know if that was a follow up or what signs maybe you guys have that this could be an option.
To be honest, I just go what fits the team. I guess I never really was worried about where the shuffle would happen or how it would go. So if they needed me to be somewhere and needed him to be somewhere, I trusted it. So,
Seeing that growth over the summer.
oh, yes, yes. He's definitely taken the next step since, I would say, with even these winter workouts. I haven't known Dewan that long with me coming in last spring, so I didn't really see him his like true freshman season. But I would say I've definitely seen he's been very, very mature the way he's handling things, and he's been stepping up to be a leader too.
What is normal full winter, full spring, full summer end up for
Oh, it was incredible. Even the even the months that I had before COVID, those 2 months were incredible. So I would say he's been working a lot with me with just not only physically, which it's been like that since I first enrolled, but also he's been on me a lot mentally because he wants me to take that next step as a leader, not just as far as my actions, but me being vocal and being consistent and just the little things that he's been working on to create good habits. So it's been helping me a lot.
Step was really talking you up, Harris. How do you feel out there? Why do you think you caught his eye so much during the season?
I think my goal in camp is just to go out there and just dominate. And I feel like the coaches know that I play with an edge and I like to finish and I like to try to be the most aggressive guy on the field. And I think that the next step for me this season, which I've had a conversation with Coach Stud, is now it's about honing in on the technique and the right steps. So I feel like the finishing and stuff, that's kind of expected with me because that's the standard I've set for myself when I first came in. But now it's about, the steps, my hand placement, things like that. I feel like that right now is really what's exciting him and my teammates on the field, is that seeing that growth with me as a technician and not just as an aggressor.
You had a lot of reps last year as a true freshman, especially in big moments. I mean, you played a lot against Clemson, huge moments. How much did those reps help you come in this year?
I would say those reps were crucial just because I feel like mentally now I know going into this season that I know what it feels like to step out there and whether it's the second quarter or the third quarter or the fourth quarter and just go out there and play and then just get a feel for like, okay, this is not practice. So in a way it felt kind of easier in certain ways. I was like, okay, defense, they don't, like, I make my call, their defense, they don't know our plays, our calls. So when I make that call, it felt kind of slowed down in a way. So I feel like it was good to get that feel for the first time then versus, this upcoming season. So it helped a lot.
Nicholas Petit Frere, both just with stuff shifting around, Sager and Dickens played it, now it's like Wands getting shot and played it, and you certainly could play it tackle right now. Is there any part of you like, man, I kind of like this shot to be a starting tackle right now? How are you handling that as things sort of shift around?
Well, I feel like the coaches and I feel like the people, and I feel like the people in the offensive line room, they know I can play tackle just as well as I can play guard right now. But I feel like right now, I've been talking to the coaches and then just like I'm a man of faith. So I feel like I get like a feeling to where it's like, you play offensive line, it's the most selfless position on the unit on the team. So it's like if I'm best fit to be a center this season, then I'll be a center, I'll be a right guard, I'll be a left guard. And I feel like it's just about just going out there and just trying to show versatility and just showing that you can put me wherever and I'll go out there and play, because I feel like everybody knows I can play tackle. But now this is me stepping outside of that zone and just dominating in a different spot. You know, because I feel like at the next level, can't just be a left tackle. We gotta be a left guard, a right guard. You know, so you know, hopefully next season I'll transition into that next step of playing tackle. But right now, I want to dominate where the coaches best see fit. You know, for the team.
And look, we're not trying to stir up stuff with that. It just does seem like legitimately you're sacrificing, you know, for the team. That like you said, everybody knows what kind of tackle you are. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you know, lots of guys here do what's best for the team. But is that fair to say that you're trying to think of team first here and knowing that, man, my tackle time will come, but it's a little bit of a sacrifice for you to play inside.
I mean, I feel like when I first came to Ohio State, I never saw myself playing any other position other than left tackle, maybe right tackle, but for a little bit of making the transition. But I feel like it sort of changed my mindset from like year one. I wanted to come in and I wanted to win that spot at like right tackle. That's not how it went. But I feel like this season it's about getting on the field and dominating and just getting my name out there, because at any moment, like, you know, who knows what shifts, I can still be there for the team if they need me to switch out to tackle for a play, for a series, because I still know it. I learned it all last season, and now I feel like they needed me to transition to guard, and I feel like the plays that I had last season, like those couple of plays I had in my freshman year showed, you know what, if we need him on guard, he can be a guard. So, I don't know, I feel like this season I'm just grateful to be out there and play with my teammates, and I'm just going to dominate out there, and when it's my time to be a tackle, I'll go back and tackle.
Coach Stone was saying, like, talk about your pad level of guard, right? Like how great it is. And, like, you're a big guy, but it felt like him acknowledging that, like, listen, man, like, yeah, maybe this guy wants to be a tackle, but he's doing everything that we need him to do for that guard. And do you feel yourself like being a guard, that you're not like a tackle who's just playing guard, that you're really embracing everything at that position?
I feel like that mindset was the next step that I had to take initially in camp, was that during the spring ball, I felt like I was an athletic tackle who came down to guard. And now I feel like, you know what, I'm going to be fooling, not just physically in terms of pad level and everything, but fully embracing I'm in guard right now. And I feel like that's really helped me a lot. So not feeling like, okay, like there's even some times in my sets I might set like a tackle on accident, out of habit. I'm like, you know what, as a guard, I need to mentally set like this. I need to be like, you know, so.
Can you speak to the crowd you're in now compared to being out on the edge? How much did that take getting used to, being in a huge crowd of huge men, you know, all the time? I mean, in other words, not feeling claustrophobic from being a tackle, but moving inside.
Okay, yeah. Well, I would say it was an adjustment that took some time being used to, because at first, you know, when you're a tackle, you're used to being by yourself. You're not having much help unless it's a twist or something, but usually, you know, you're by yourself on an island. But so it took a little bit, because now I switched roles to, I felt more of like support. Like I need to make sure that my tackle is not getting picked by the three technique. I have to make sure that my center is clean. So now my eyes are everywhere more. But I feel like I really like it, because it really helped me learn the offense more. Because last season I would say I really, you know, if I'm speaking truthfully, I only really knew what the tackle did and what, you know, how the guard would help him. But now with me being a guard, I feel like in the future, in my career, me playing guard, I'm gonna know how to help with me being a guard, when I go back to tackle, I'm gonna know what my guard needs, because I've been there. And I feel like now I'm going against those heavier guys, and again, with me, the pad level being a guard versus being a tackle is different. So I feel like being able to take that, and from what I've been learning and doing when it's my time, like it's gonna feel so different, because, you know, and I'm learning the offense. I'm learning what my center has to do, my vision, my keys are slightly, different. I'm having to pull more, so I feel like I'm learning the offense a lot. So
Have you I should know this, but in your Travails is a journalist. Have you interviewed Harry Miller yet? Have you ever read
I
a
have
story
not.
about him?
I have not.
Would that be a tough one?
I feel like that would be to try to keep up with, like what he's talking about sometimes.
Harris, what was it like though out there today or the last few days being part of that offensive line like we're talking about with DeWand on the right side, Nick on the left, Thayer at left guard stuff? Does it feel like a stronger fist? I mean, what does it feel like to be in the midst of that?
Oh, it feels like this is a very strong line that we have. I feel like wherever you put anybody in the room, I feel like we're gonna have a strong line. Like I just feel like our room is very tight, so you could shuffle literally you could put anybody anywhere, and we're gonna go out there and it's gonna be seamless. So.
Harris, how have you been able to work with Donovan Jackson? You guys had very similar expectations coming out of high school, both being all road players.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen out of him that impressed you as a guy who's been through the same expectations? And also, how have you let guide him through handling?
I would say one thing about him that I feel like he reminds me of myself in terms of that he's very tough. And he came in and his technique was really great. And he's a hard worker and he doesn't question having to do more. He's just, okay, I'll do it. Just how do you want me to change? So I would say like his mentality as a young guy is really impressive. And I feel like, he's been talking to me about, us watching film together or just doing certain steps. And he's the type of guy that you tell him things once or twice and he's got it,
Does it make sense that you're taller, 6'6"?
6'6.5", 6'7".
So that might not be the most comfortable height for a guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
But DeWand's even a little taller.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense that, listen, if that's the best five, it's just maybe a more difficult transition for DeWand to try to go inside, so keep him a tackle and maybe you're a little more flexible? Or like, how does that fit together, do you think, if you guys are trying to get the best five on?
I think that's really all to Coach Stud and just what he sees fit. And I feel like I've always been the type of person since I was younger. I always believe that the coach's vision, he's been doing it for so long that I feel like he knows where, by seeing our body types and the way that we bend, the way that we play, who can fit where. So I'm a full believer that me being guard right now is great. I feel like the mindset that I'm going into it with is that it's a great learning opportunity because I'm going to be able to, like I said earlier, learn the offense better. Now I have to bend a little bit more. Now I'm supporting the center, looking out for the tackle. I'm not on an island, and I feel like in the future in my career this is great because I don't know if at any point, God willing, and when I'm playing at the next level, that I might need to go to guard. Now I know how to do it. I have it on film, so I'm just excited to get out there and play.
Was it ever a little just uncomfortable as you got used to, just at your size, that bend and get used to just lining up at guard?
I would say it wasn't a lot because I feel like when we were home during COVID, I spent a lot of time with my best friend. I've known his friend my entire life, Michael Jordan, who played here. And I feel like just seeing him do it, it was I feel like it's a thing mentally you have to get past it. Oh, I'm too tall to do it. I'm too tall to do it. But then you see people like Mike Jordan, who's the same height, same weight. He did it, and he played center here. So I'm like, if he can do it, then I know I can do it. So there were times where we trained together, and I would get in a three-point stance. But it was just to get used to it. But it was the mindset of being a tackle, but it ended up helping me out down the road with me playing guard. Seeing him do it, I know it's possible.
Harris, is it any easier? I imagine it's different, but is it any easier pass blocking on the interior after you spend so much time kind of on the island by yourself?
I would say that it's okay. I think the best answer is that it's different. It's that in terms of I've been used to going against fast guys and they rush a certain way and I have a lot of space between me and the quarterback. Versus at guard, you don't have as much space, as much time, but those guys are bigger, they're slower, they're fast, twitch, right? But they're not gonna run around you.
Right.
So, so I feel like it's teaching me how to be a better protector in terms of just going against different body types of guys. So I've been liking it a lot.
And if it does end up that it's you and Thayer playing guard, two guys who were kind of tackles by trade, what do you think that would do for the group in terms of interior pass protection? Because I feel like there have been times the last couple of years where when teams have attacked you, that's where they've tried to attack you, is up the middle. If you have two guys who are tackles there who are kind of used to, pass blocking on their own, being on that island, but now they're inside, like, can that help you, I don't know, combat that a little better?
I feel like that experience of being on the outside really helps. And we've had those conversations with me, Thayer, Nick, and DeJuan, like just talking. Like, we've all played tackle. So it's one of those things like we're going to notice a lot of blitzes and a lot of the safety and the corners coming down and starting to creep because we've all been trained in the meeting room to look at all that stuff. But now I'm being trained to also see what is a guard supposed to look at? What is the center looking at? So now I'm already instinctively looking out and all that stuff. So I feel like our communication's been great, and I feel like that shouldn't be a big issue at all.
Well, good. All right. Thank you very much, Paris.
Thanks, Barry.
Thanks, man. Good stuff.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. Thanks.